the other one. Graham, so we have a new host for the podcast today.
That's right.
Hey, scooch.
She's so big.
Keo, scooch. Graham, scooch. 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 Out. Out. We gotta go. Gotta go. Graham. Gotta go. Thank you, girl. She just wants to be involved. Good morning.
What's up?
What's up?
Oh, what?
Dude, we're off to a bad start.
Why? You should just keep that on.
There we go. I don't want to waste electricity. Anyways.
What's happening?
Oh, nothing new. Well, this is technically episode 16, but it's going to be aired as episode 18 because we have a special guest coming Saturday.
Do you have a time set?
After our workout.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
So, yeah. How's the week going?
Good. Good. What day is it? Is it Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Happy Wednesday.
October 1st.
Oh, it is.
Sure as heck doesn't feel like it. It's 90 degrees outside.
I know. Those little black...
I'm ready for fall. Like
those little black bugs are out.
Those things are nasty, dude.
Yeah. We got an order in yesterday. 2 orders in yesterday.
I've seen that.
One did come on a pallet, and they parked it in front of my garage door. So I had the garage door open. I was running out and bringing everything in and stuff. Every time I went out, I was getting bit, and I come back in, and I had those little bugs just like crawling on me. What a mess. So
those things suck. Why they pee on you? And that's what stings. I'm 100% serious.
Cool.
Like, what a weird concept.
Who researched that?
I've heard it by multiple people.
Really?
Like, it's got to be true.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. Look it up.
Whatever. Probably not the first time I've been peed on, so.
It definitely isn't.
No.
So, what you got today?
Oh, this is a thing that we've kind of brought up a couple times. This light's driving me crazy.
The light, Andy, music's loud. We're going to have to upgrade the podcast studio.
All right. Well, I guess we're doing it with no light.
You know?
So.
We're going to have to go conference room style.
Conference room?
Yeah.
I don't have any place for that.
We're going to have to do it somewhere else.
So, well, my office at home is almost done, so we could do that. So, this is a topic we've kind of brought up and touched base on occasion. But I think meal prep. We should discuss meal prep.
Yeah.
How's your meal prep going?
Terrible.
Terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
At least you're honest about it.
Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And my meal prep has never been anything more than cooking a bunch of chicken on the grill and then cooking a bunch of rice and putting a bunch of rice and chicken in there, and that's it.
Yeah. That's a solid start, though. So what do you think is your biggest... So,
just time. It's just time.
I feel like we're...
That's all it is.
We're not opposites because we have similar goals, but like... I'm extremely diligent, and for me, it's meal prepping every week is a non-negotiable. For you, like...
You spend all weekend meal prepping.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
it only takes a few hours. It only takes a few hours for us to meal prep. It's super simple, but...
Break it down.
And I think that's...
You told me last Friday you cooked your rice.
Yeah, so basically, like, it's... That's why I think a lot of people struggle with meal prepping is, for one, they don't know what to eat. For two, they're like, there's that stigma where people think they only can only eat chicken and rice or chicken and broccoli or whatever. And that couldn't be further from the truth. My breakdown is I have an Instant Pot. So I throw all my rice I need for the week in there. And I cook it. So literally I can set it and forget it. And I know you're not supposed to do this, but a lot of times I'll cook it on a Friday. I'll take the lid off, let it cool, and then I put the lid back on, and then I just let it sit until I'm ready to throw my meals together on Saturday, or sometimes it sits until Sunday. Sometimes if I really want to, I'll cover it in tin foil and throw it in the fridge. But
yeah.
A lot of times it just sits out. Since chicken's so expensive, we're frugal and we're pinching pennies. We get, 2 or 3 rotisserie chickens from Sam's Club. Like, I'm not in contest prep, so the extra fat isn't anything for me. And really, like, I measured it out, and it's only like 7 grams of fat per 4 ounces. So it's really not that much fat. I would have been supplementing with, or not supplementing, I would have been adding fat like from olive oil or other sources anyways. So instead, I just don't add that olive oil to those meals. I also do potatoes with beef, some form of beef, either steak or ground beef. So it's like you clean your potatoes, you chop them up, and you throw them in the oven. And so that's basically the bulk of it. And so basically rotisserie chicken, we just skin it and shred it in a bowl and mix it up. Ground beef, you throw it in a pan and just let it go. The rice, you just toss it in with some water, let it go. So honestly, what takes the longest is just the potatoes and the process of cutting them, excuse me. So, but it's really not that long. Like, I would say maximum actual work time is less than 2 hours to do that. And I mean, most people could find 2 hours on a weekend or a day off to meal prep.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to, and like, I know there's people like, I don't have a family. I don't have kids. So like, that's always going to be a thing that people will go back on. Well, you don't have kids, so you don't understand. It's like, you're right, I don't. But I also have other influences and other things going on that I could, use as an excuse not to do it. So I guess my question is, because so you and I are a little bit different on that aspect, where you might have some information that might be a little bit more relatable to some people. Like, what's for you? Is there a particular reason why you don't, or why you can't take the time to meal prep? Not to call you out, like, genuinely.
If I have the time, I do it. Like, and I like enjoy doing it, and I want to do it. But yeah, it just comes down to that. I mean, just finding the time, or making the time. Like, you really don't understand what it's like to have a 1-year-old.
No.
Multiple businesses. It may just sound like an excuse, but like, I'm sure a lot of people feel like there's a lot of shit that people have to do and get done, and then that just does get put on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to fucking cook when finally you get a chance to just sit down, take a breath, and like, even if you do, like, if you even do, is a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can always shave out that extra hour or two, I think, too. And or if you got the money, just buy some sort of pre-packaged meal.
There's tons of meal prep services.
There's tons of them. So like, yeah, there shouldn't be an excuse. So it's just a matter of how bad you really want it. Lately, I've just been. I mean, honestly, there's been no chance to just even think about doing that. By the time you cook dinner, then after dinner, it's just like chasing Reese around, and Trina and I are both doing that at the same time. And he's not going down for a nap anymore. He's up till he goes to bed, right? And it's either 8 or 9 o'clock. And then finally you get a chance to shower. And then by then I'm going to bed. That's it. It's been a long day. Last week I worked I didn't get home till 10, 2 nights in a row. So Trina's hands were full. She's by herself all night long, She gets off work at 3:45, usually 4 o'clock. Picks Reese up at 4, and it's game time, right? 6 hours straight of just nonstop craziness.
Yeah.
You get home, whatever, you play around with him for a little bit. If you're lucky enough to get time outside, then you feed him. Like, you got to make him dinner, and it's just, it just gets to be a lot. And finding that extra time, and then too, during the week, you're just at the house so much, with him at night. It's nice to be able to like get away and go do things. So we spend a lot of the time outside of the house, not necessarily inside, just doing nothing. It just comes down to just, do you really want to do it or not?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's not time you could definitely shave out, or that I definitely could, because there is, but it's just not that important to me right now.
Fair. Yeah. I mean, at least you can recognize it, and like, you're capable of doing it. You're smart enough that you know what you need to eat, you know what you need to do. I think that's kind of where I was going with this, is like, everyone could have the opportunity to do it, and I think that other influences get in the way. And just for me, like, especially with my competitive bodybuilding career is just like it's turned into a non-negotiable, and whatnot. But yeah, the big thing is just make it simple. Like my meal prep isn't anything extravagant. It's the same dang thing every day. Like I do eggs in the morning if I'm not training. If I am training, I do a protein shake and cream of rice, and a bagel. Then I do like chicken and rice. And you don't have to do chicken and rice. I just do it because it digests really well for me. It's super simple. And it's just an easy carb source that I usually don't get tired of. And then right now I'm doing beef and potato. I always add some kind of green veggie to those meals, whether it's green beans or, asparagus or something like that. I do other easy foods too, like I'll pack an apple for each meal. I'll pack a clementine right now. I do a serving of carrots, which is 85 grams. I do pistachios for some good fats or almonds. And then my last meal of the day is usually eggs, and Sarah makes sourdough bread. So I'll do like a piece of sourdough bread and maybe toss some peanut butter on it or something, and we're good. So, and I just do that day over day over day. And like, don't get me wrong, like I love food. Like I was a fat kid. I'm a foodie. So like we work our butts off in the gym. So it's like, again, I'm not in any kind of competition season right now. So it's just like, if I want to go and have a meal off, or if we want to go out to dinner, or, make something different at home, like spaghetti or lasagna or steak or, whatever it is, and then we're going to do it. But it's only, we limit it. A couple nights a week or whatnot. But otherwise, like if we just want something different for supper, then we'll do it. And then I'll just kind of roughly calculate it, like, all right, what do I need to eat to fulfill my macros and not go too far overboard?
Yeah.
And that's really it.
It really depends on who you're talking to, right? I mean, are you talking to the average Joe here that wants to lift weights, not get fat? Mm-hmm. Are you talking to somebody over here that wants to lift weights and start losing weight and get shredded or peeled, because these guys they need to do what you are doing right now.
Yep.
And if they just did that, they would probably make a huge difference, right? But the average people, I think, that are listening to this or want or might catch this aren't going to be in that situation, right?
Yeah.
The majority of the people that are going to be listening, I believe, are probably people that just are not where they want to be, but they're also not gonna fully commit to being, to being that to get contest prep ready, if that's kind of what you want to call it, I guess. That type of meal plan, right?
Yep.
So what falls in between there, that's having some preparedness throughout the week, and then you gotta realistically you have to be able to accept that these people are gonna want or at least eat, a regular meal twice a week at bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like,
and the big thing is, a couple important things is making sure you're eating foods that you're going to actually enjoy and not get tired of. Because if you're
that's the biggest thing.
If you're like, I don't like rice, or I don't like chicken, then don't eat it. It's literally as simple as that. Find the foods that are clean, that you enjoy, and seasoning is huge. Low calorie sauces are huge. Like I always use tons of seasonings, low calorie sauces, just to keep the food interesting and different. A package of taco seasoning and some beef will go a long ways. Yeah. Some black beans or whatever. You can make like I've done burrito bowls for meal prep before, and they're freaking delicious. But just what I'd say is you don't have to go all in right away. Just create some kind of preparedness. At least start off with just prepping 1 or 2 meals for each day.
Even if it's lunch. Yeah. And probably lunch would probably be the most impactful. Yep. Instead of going to Casey's on your lunch break and eating all that junk or wherever else, if you could just get that one meal dialed in, I think you'd even change your life.
And a lot of times it's not the foods that we cook at home, it's the convenience foods that we end up eating during the day, because I'm guilty of it too on occasion. And that's where like just being prepared is so important. because if you're not preparing your food and then you're, you know, like what Seth said, you're just going into the convenience foods like Casey's or Quick Star or like stopping at a drive-through, then that's kind of where things start to get out of hand, because it's just foods are just so calorie dense and so heavy in fats and carbs and minimal in protein, where it should be the opposite. You should be, you know, trying to eat a little bit more protein and then dialing back maybe your carbs or your fats. So just making sure you're prepared at least for that one meal for lunch every day, and that's going to set you up for so much more success than you even probably realize. Again, because it's probably not the foods that you're eating at home, this is what you're eating on the go.
Right.
A big thing that I see a lot is people just aren't eating enough of the right foods.
Or overindulging in one meal.
Yep, and then that's what
Nighttime,
happens.
eating too late in the day, so their body doesn't have time to digest that before bedtime.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, like, most of the people that are watching this, or I'd say a lot of people that are watching this, like, they know how to train. They work their butt off in the gym, but it comes down to you can't out train a bad diet. And I know you guys have all heard this before, but think of it this way: is like digging a hole. Like, when you're in the gym, you are digging a hole. You're burying yourself. You're kicking your butt. You're literally tearing down your muscles and creating a need for good quality food to recover or climb yourself out of that hole. So if you're, you know, binge drinking on the weekends, or, you know, having beers every night after work because you've had a rough day, or, you know, eating like junk foods like that are convenient, instead of climbing yourself out of that hole, you're just digging that hole even deeper. So think of food as building blocks or steps to help you get out of that hole, to create better preparedness for the next day you're in the gym, or the next day you have to go on a long run or a swim or whatever your exercise may be. So just making sure you're prepared and you're ready. And
all it takes is one meal to completely ruin the day.
Yep. So,
you know,
and that's, you know, one thing I'll tell people too is, like, you know, if you're gonna have, like, you know, I hate the term cheat meal. I like to consider it a free meal. It's
a refeed.
Or a refeed. So, but a refeed is a little bit different, because you've earned that. It's like, all right, I'm dieting so heavily that my body actually needs these extra calories to replenish glycogen, which is like energy in the muscles, or to just kind of help, you know, pull me out of that big dip in where the calories are, so to give your body some extra energy to feed off of. And it's also kind of a mindset thing too. It's a little bit of a mental break when it comes to a refeed. But like a free meal is something that you're allowing yourself to have. You're scheduling it, you're planning it. Cheat meal would be like if you're traveling and you forgot to prep your food and you're like, oh crap, well screw it, I'm just gonna stop at McDonald's. That would be more of a cheat meal, because it's unplanned. You weren't really accounting for it in your daily food intake, and then it just happens. But we're all guilty of it. We've all done it before. We all do it, and we're gonna do it again. So just being forgiving of yourself and understanding that, yeah, I may not be perfect, because you're not gonna be perfect every time. No one ever is. And just knowing that you can start your next meal off on the right foot, but also trying to prepare those free meals at the right time of day. I actually prefer to have them towards the end of the day. The reason being is, if I have like a free meal or a cheat meal in the morning for breakfast, let's say a super heavy breakfast, you know, Sarah and I go out for breakfast and it's super heavy, then that's gonna like kind of really slow down my digestion, and it's gonna slow me down. It's gonna make me feel bloated and lethargic. Or even if it's like lunch or something like that, the same thing can happen. Then it just makes it so I want to eat less of my other meals I already had planned, and it just kind of throws the rest of my meals off for the day. So if I can hit all my meals leading up to that free meal, and then also the more food at least for me, the more food I eat during the day, the less I'm going to be apt to eating like a super big, heavy meal at the end of the day.
I feel it's important because a lot of people probably skip breakfast too. You're in such a hurry in the morning, whatever you got to do. All of a sudden it's 10:30 and you're starving, right? It's 11 and you're starving.
Yep.
And then you go, and that's when you go and and you're not prepared and you don't have that meal ready, where you could just get that one meal in, okay, get past it, move on, and then you could have a really good dinner. That's where you're going to get lost in the lunchtime madness, especially if you don't eat breakfast. So make sure you're eating some sort of breakfast. I don't know what would be some good foods, because every morning I eat about 5-6 eggs, 2 pieces of toast with peanut butter on them, and then I come in here and I work out. That's a fast digesting breakfast.
Well, kind of. I will say I'm sorry not to interrupt you or disagree. 5 whole eggs, so there's 6 grams of protein per egg, and like 5 grams of fat, so you're getting like 20 grams of fat. So the fat from the eggs will slow down the digestion of the protein and the carbs, as well as the additional peanut butter that you're putting on your toast. So that is going to be probably like 30 to 40 grams of fat after you get the eggs and the peanut butter. So that is like a moderate fat meal that will slow down the digestion. But the thing is, like, you operate well off of that, and you're priming yourself for the day, and you're typically so freaking busy during the day where you may not have time to eat a meal because you're on the go, like running different properties or whatever it is, doing a floor. So I'm good with that. It's just planning
that breakfast for me. Before I'm even done, like with our workout, most times I'm ready to eat again. I'm starving. Like that's just I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't feel like enough.
Well, I mean, you burn a ton of calories, and so again, though, like that is something that your body just processes and digests really well. I know a lot of people they can't eat eggs because it just messes up their gut, or at least can't eat eggs first thing in the morning. For me, I can eat eggs first thing in the morning, but if I eat it like later in the day, like my stomach is kind of churny. But so yeah, I had another thought and I forgot it.
So just go ahead.
Sorry, you asked like what's a good easy breakfast. So
for like the average person needs to make it to lunch without shit, I'm hungry.
I'm not a big fan of it personally, and it may have just been because early on in my lifting career, I tried doing it because it was like a hot thing at the time. But overnight oats, super simple. Like there's no cooking required. Google a recipe. Just because I don't have anything off the top of my head, but basically what it is
I don't know that you have to do anything but put milk and oats in a container and put it in the fridge.
So here's like a rough recipe of overnight oats. Half cup oatmeal, which is about 27 grams of carbs. You throw in maybe like a container of Greek yogurt, which has a little bit of carbs and some proteins, some good digestive enzymes, and some healthy fat. You throw in a scoop of protein, and then you stir it up. Throw in some frozen veggie or frozen fruit, frozen veggies. Gross. Sorry. Throw in some frozen fruit, whatever you prefer, and along with that protein powder. And if you want, you can toss in a little bit of peanut butter or something, and maybe a splash of milk or something to kind of thin it out. And you mix it up really well, and then you throw it in the fridge overnight. And then you wake up in the morning, and you're gonna have like a mason jar or a glass like this big full of it, and eat it. And that's gonna be something super sustainable for you. A good equal blend of proteins, carbs, and fats to start your day off of. That oatmeal is gonna sit really well, where it's not gonna digest super fast, and it's gonna be a nice, hearty, easy breakfast that you could literally eat in the car while you're commuting to work.
And this is going to be for the people that don't have that 10 o'clock meal plan prepped, right?
Yeah. And so that could essentially be something that gets you through the full morning, or it should be able to. A super easy meal that you can eat for lunch and prepare. Again, like, guys, rotisserie chicken, like, I can't say like how easy that is. You get 4 to 6 ounces of rotisserie chicken. You do, let's say, a half a cup of rice, and you maybe drizzle on like a tablespoon or half tablespoon of olive oil, and throw in some frozen green beans. Like, you don't even have to cook them. Throw frozen green beans. Just prep that meal at night. Let it sit in the fridge. Those green beans will basically thaw overnight. Throw it in the microwave for a couple minutes on your lunch break, and you can eat it. Get a really, really good seasoning or really good sauce. The Melinda's hot sauces I love. The G Hughes or Kinder's has a zero sugar like barbecue sauce. Those are amazing. And that's super simple. And then if you wanted like a little afternoon snack, you could do. Again, I'm not real big on just supplementing protein powder, just a supplement with it. But you could do like a protein shake with like a dollop of peanut butter in there, or you could do some almonds or something like that for some healthy fats. Again, guys, fat is not the enemy. It's super, super important for hormone production, brain function, and also really, really good for your joints. And fat will, like I said before, fat will slow down the digestion of the other foods and keep you fuller longer. So fat's not the enemy. So
I think a lot of people think carbs are an enemy too.
yeah, they're not. And I would say the big thing that carbs could be an enemy for. So the type of people that carbs could be for an enemy for is like if you have some kind of issue like celiac, the wrong kind of carbs, or what's the other one that's kind of close to having being celiac, but gluten intolerance. So just picking the right carbs, or people that might have like other conditions like cancers and things like that, where like the inflammation response might be bad, because carbs are technically sugar. So anyone that has like a bad inflammation response, then carbs could be a bad choice or a bad idea. But anyone else, like, carbs are great. It's going to help, again, restore the energy stores in your muscles. It's going to help you feel better. Carbs are protein sparing. So the more carbs you eat, actually, the less protein you have to eat. I'm not saying don't eat protein. Still about a gram per pound or a gram per pound per your goal body weight is ideal for protein. But a lot of people think like, oh, I have to eat like, like 1.5 grams. Like, if you weigh 200 pounds, like, oh man, I have to eat like 300 grams of protein or whatever. It's like, no, like, you don't have to eat that much protein. If you're not eating a super like low deficit, you really don't need as much protein as you probably think you do. And you can count protein that you're getting from other sources besides just meat, right? Like, although they're not great sources of protein, but pasta, quinoa, beans, rice do have some protein. They're just not as ideal as a protein that would come from like an animal product.
Yeah.
So
snacks. Let's talk snacks.
Snacks. What's that?
Quick snacks on the go.
So
in a pinch, I'm hungry.
I kind of adopted this thought process from Ryan Irwin, my former coach, and I really like the way he approaches snacks. Approach a snack like it's a meal. So I'm not saying that like you shouldn't have like a massive snack, but think of it as maybe just a small bridge to get you onto your next meal. So when I think snacks, I want to have a good source of protein. I want to have some fat, and I want to have some carbs. Again, that's because that's what my goals are right now. If you have any issues or digestive issues, obviously go off of what your doctor or nutritionist recommends. But so protein powder always works in a pinch. It's super easy to pack. You could toss in a bottle of water, shake it up, and drink it. But I would recommend adding in some kind of a fat source, like I mentioned before, like an afternoon snack, like almonds. I mean, a serving of almonds is an ounce. So it's like, just a small serving, you throw that in a Ziploc bag and carry it with you. So super easy. You can put that in your lunch bag. You can throw it in your console of your car, like whatever the case may be. You can always find a bottle of water someplace. You can, grab a piece of paper, make a funnel, and dump the protein powder in the bottle of water. And then you can just literally just sit there and like eat almonds out of a bag. So that'd be good. You could even make a smoothie. You can make a smoothie, you can freeze it, and then you could pack it in like a cooler bag or something. And then by the time you get, to the afternoon or something, that smoothie will have like kind of defrosted a little bit, and you could drink that smoothie in the afternoon. And like, smoothies are relatively sweet. When do we typically have sweet cravings? After lunch in the afternoon. So putting a little bit of honey in there. I recommend like a locally sourced organic honey, just because that's gonna help more with like allergens and things like that in our area versus like store bought stuff. But also